Hello, folks, and welcome back to the beginnings of the channel. Whoa, I got that really turned up. So we are back here on the Long Dark. It is a game that I started my channel out on, and I really haven't played a lot lately. So I would like to play a little bit of it. And I have a friend of mine that is starting to play the game, running into a little bit of difficulties. So I decided I was going to do a beginner's video, a noob's video to the Long Dark, just to show how the buttons work and crafting and all of that kind of stuff. Basically a starting from scratch, not knowing too much about the game, and how to actually do stuff. I looked on the internet and there are no recent videos on this type of stuff, and it's a really fun game. I really love it. And I don't want people to start playing the game, can't get through something, and then decide to quit the game, because it's really fun once you learn how to actually play the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from the very beginning. So in the very beginning of the game, you'll open it up and you'll have a lot of different things that you can do. My recommendation is not doing the story mode straight off the bat. The very first part of story mode it'll discourage you, mainly because you are near death, and if you don't know how to do things, you're going to die a lot. So the first thing you need to know about this game is the fact that you are going to die. You're just going to. You have Mother Nature, you have the weather, you've got wolves, you've got bears, you got moose, you got starvation, you got cold, you got everything. And go into the game knowing that you are going to die. As you get better at the game, you will live longer. So my recommendation is to start in survival mode. Again, you do have winter mute, which is story mode. It's scripted. Survival mode is open sandbox. There are a lot of maps, a lot of places to go in survival mode. Then you have your challenges. Don't start with your challenges. Wait till you get a basic in survival mode and you can survive for at least a couple of months in survival mode, and then move on to the challenges, because the challenges are really hard. Some of them are really good, and they're really fun to play, but not in the beginning. So stick with survival mode. And I already have some survival modes going up here, but let's start with a brand new one, straight from scratch. You will notice that there are several different types of runs that you can do. You have Pilgrim, which Pilgrim is for somebody that pretty much hasn't played the game. It's very easy. The wildlife will run away from you. Wolves will rarely ever attack you. Same with bears and moose. And supplies that you can find are very plentiful. It's a good mode to start out. I started out with that and played for about 3 or 4 days on Pilgrim mode and realized, yeah, it's not that hard. So I moved over to Voyager mode. Voyager mode is a good one to start out with if you want a challenge. Wolves will attack you, bears will attack you, and the moose will attack you. But you do have weapons, meaning guns and rifles that you can find, and you still have plenty of supplies and clothing and stuff like that you can find. Once you've mastered, or not really mastered, but once you've played Voyager and you can survive in Voyager for a while, you can move on to Stalker. Stalker is more difficult, and your Your weather is worse. Wolves are more plentiful. There are a lot of bears out there, and there are moose out there. And everything will try to kill you. Once you've mastered or played Stalker for a while and it's become easy, then you move to Interloper. Interloper is the hardest setting in the game. So Interloper, you don't get guns. You won't find a pistol. You won't find a rifle. And the weather is much worse. Clothing is harder to come by. Supplies are harder to come by. Most places that you will search will have nothing in it. So that will test your survival skills. And then you have custom. Custom is a setting that you can do any way you want to. You can make it as hard or as easy as you like. So right now we're going to start out with Voyager mode, because I think that is the best one to start out with. It's more challenging, and once you have the basics down, it's a lot more fun for the beginner. So let's go ahead and start with that. You have all of these maps, and you use your D-pad to go over, and you can select the map that you want to start on. I kind of like starting on either Mystery Lake or Pleasant Valley. Pleasant Valley, you have a lot of stuff that you can pick up. And don't let the name fool you. It is very cold in Pleasant Valley. The weather is crappy. Mystery Lake is the one that I normally start out on because I know the map really, really well. And I know where the stuff is that I want to pick up. When I go into harder modes and I want more of a challenge, I'll go to some place like Hushed River Valley, which is real tough to start out on. Or Ash Canyon or Timberwolf Mountain. Coastal Highway's not that hard to start out with, and Desolation Point is a little bit worse. And Bleak Inlet I've played a few times, but not as I don't know the map like I should. But again, Mystery Lake is a good place to start out. So that's where we're going to go. We're going to start out with Mystery Lake. And you can pick male or female. It doesn't matter which one you pick. They both carry the same weight. I normally start out with a female because I don't like hearing Will cry and complain so much. Now you have any type of feats that you may have gotten. So with the feats, you can pick up to 4 feats in this mode. And these just allow you a little extra boost while you're playing. So like the Snow Runner. I think it is, don't quote me on it, but I think it is 500 miles that you walk, or maybe 300. But when you get that feat and you activate it, your stamina bar recharges 20% faster. I also have Free Runner. For the sprinting that you do, if you sprint a lot in the game and you go up to a certain amount of miles, then when you sprint and you have this feat, it burns 25% fewer calories. And book smarts. Read your books. When you find a book and you have the time, read the books. It will make the game a little bit easier. And I have this feat now, so I get 10% more benefit from each completed research book. So I'm going to go ahead and activate these. So to activate them, you hit Y. And I'm playing on the Xbox, by the way. And we'll go ahead and get Free Runner and Book Smarts. Now, if you like running at night, which I do sometimes, then you can do the Dark Walker. The Dark Walker is a challenge that was for a Halloween a few years back, and they have now added that into the game, so you can play the Dark Walker at any time. Dark Walker is really fun to play, and you will die. That's the way it's set up. You can't survive the Dark Walker. The only thing you can do is see how far you can get in. But I'm not going to set that one up, because if I set that one up, then I fatigue more during the day. And in this series, I don't want to fatigue as much during the day. So I hit confirm, and then you have to name your playthrough. So we'll just call this Noob 1. I'll accept that. And then we'll hit any button to continue. And it gives you this while it's loading up. Oh, and I started indoors. Well, that's not too bad. So in this, I must have starting indoors turned on. And you can go in customs and turn it off. So this is a much easier start than I'm used to.
Anything.
And Pinnacle Peaches, 89%. I'm going to go ahead and take those. 23%. I don't eat anything in the yellow. I leave it. And we've got a note down here, so I'm going to pick that up. And I have a cooking pot. I'm going to slide that over there. And all I'm doing here is I'm hitting the left trigger to pick the item up and the right trigger to set it down. Now I'll be able to cook water on here. Oh, we got another cooking pot. So I'll go ahead and pick you up, put you in my inventory, and I'll set that over. Because I want plenty of water. Herbal tea, I'm going to pick it up with my left trigger and drop it down there with my right so that I can see it better. Now what I'm going to do is check my inventory. So checking your inventory, you hit Y, and it will show you what you have in your inventory. If you don't want to look at it this way, so if I hit A, I can actually look at the individual items I have in here. Or B, I can back it back out here and I can go down and look at the categories. And that's a little bit easier way to do it. And there's a truck going by, sorry about that. So I've only have one little bit of food in here. But I am starting with a bedroll. So bedroll's at 81%. I'll have to do some work on it later. So this is what I'm starting out with. So while we're in this menu, let me show you a couple other things. If I hit my left trigger, it will move over to my clothing. My clothing, it will tell me how good my clothing is, which jeans suck. And so does my thermal underwear. Socks aren't bad. The shoes have got to go. I've got to find other shoes. And gloves aren't bad. And I am just starting out with a sweatshirt. I have no other clothing. Baseball cap. So that's what I'm starting out with. If I look down to my bottom left, it shows my warmth bonus is plus 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Windproofing is plus 4. Protection is 7%. And my sprinting is 96%, which means I can sprint pretty good. I can run fast, and I won't lose my, I won't tire as quickly. But then again, I'm going to freeze really fast with all this. So I'm going to need to get better clothing. If I hit my left trigger again, it moves me over to the next menu, and that shows my health. So my warmth, I'm fairly warm, I'm rested. I have plenty of water on me, and I am almost full on my calories. But it also shows the air temperature outside, or inside, excuse me. Wherever I'm at, it will show the air temperature and my wind chill. So it tells me right now that it feels like 39 degrees Fahrenheit. As long as I keep myself above 32, then I will not freeze. It also shows a green plus sign over there. That is my health, and I have no afflictions right now because I'm just starting out the game. So if we go back over here to our backpack, so this is everything that's in our backpack. If you look up in the upper left-hand corner, it shows that I have 10.76 pounds in my backpack. I can carry 66 pounds in it without being overburdened. If I get overburdened, I tire quicker. If I try to climb a rope when I'm overburdened, it will not let me. So you got to watch your weight, especially early game. Hitting the right trigger again takes me over to my blueprints. This is my crafting. So I can go to the top and it shows everything that I can possibly craft. If I want to get something specific, like tinder plugs. So right now I have 4 tinder plugs and bandages. Yep, bandages. I have. Oh, let me look. Got to make sure I have bandages. I have 2 bandages, and I have my antibiotics and my painkillers, so I'm good to go on that. I have plenty of those to start out the game. So when you're looking at your crafting menu, I do have cloth on me. It tells me I have 1 piece of cloth. If I look over to the right, it says 1 of 1. And with 1 piece of cloth, I can make 2 bandages. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that, so you can see where I've got it highlighted. And I'm going to hit the X button and begin crafting. I do want more bandages. Wolf attacks, stuff like that, will tear through you and you will need to bandage yourself. But again, it shows everything that I can craft. Clothing. As I kill wildlife, I can make more clothing and better clothing. So it shows the clothing right there. And if I go to the right, again, it shows me my log. So it will show me, if I click my A button, I'll go over to number 1. It'll show me where I have been, and it will also show me the percentage of the worlds I've explored, hours rested, condition range, calories burned, injuries sustained. I hit my B button to go back, and I'll go down, and my skills. This shows me where my skills are. The higher my skills, the better I am at each one of these. So I hit A, carcass harvesting. Everything should be down at the very beginner level. So a couple of things that I want to get higher levels faster would be cooking, fire starting, and rifle firearms. So if I get those, and mending. So if I get those, are what I'm going to concentrate on, because it gives me a better chance of starting fires, of mending clothing. My cooking will go down. Things like carcass harvesting. It will take me so long to harvest a carcass, and as my skills go up, it takes me less time, which means I'm out in the cold less. Cooking, when I get it up to level 5, because level 5 is as high as you can get, I can eat anything. I can eat rotten food, and it will not make me sick. My cooking time is also reduced. Fire starting, when I hit level, you start out at 40% chance to start a fire. When I hit level 5, I can start a fire 100% with a match and a stick, which is really, really good. Rifle firearms. This allows me to keep the rifle more steady for longer periods of time, so I can aim better. Same way with archery. Mending. This allows me a better chance of fixing my clothing, because sometimes when you try to fix something, especially when you're low rank like I am, it will not allow you to fix it. Okay, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. Same way with the revolver and gunsmithing. Gunsmithing is basically for making ammunition. And we are not going to make ammunition for a while. We have collections that you can get, like notes. I've already gotten 1 out of 25 notes. There are 13 Polaroids. There are 165 Karens. And buffer memories. These are computers. When you find computers and we have the northern lights going on, the computers will actually work, because there is no power in the game unless you have the northern lights going on. So you can actually read the messages on there. And surveyed locations. So you can survey in this game, and I'll show you how to do that here in a bit. And there are 212 locations that you can survey. The next thing is the rock caches. There are different caches of small amounts of supplies on each one of the maps, and there's 5 on each one. So if you can find them all, it just gives you a little bit of, hey, I did this and I am good at the game type of thing. Then your general notes, you can put general notes in here, but this is the one you want to look at the most, which is your stats. So you can see I've got some other playthroughs going on, but in my current sandbox, which shows in the center there, I haven't survived any days yet, and so click on that, and I've only discovered one location, which is the hunter shack that I'm in now. And it shows my calories, just all kinds of different things. Hours awake, hours rested, hours indoors, outdoors. The number of days you're in each location. But what I like to look at the most on this is down here toward the bottom. And you will see right in the center of that, wolves killed. And I'll bring that up to the top. So wolves killed. If you shoot something, a lot of times it will run away. So you can keep checking this, and if you know what your stats are, you can tell when that particular animal that you shot like a wolf, when it dies. And then you can go after it, which really helps you when you're hunting bears. Because it's very rare that you will hit a bear and you'll drop it first off. So what you can do is shoot it and then wait for it to die and then go find it. Animals bleed out in this game. So if I shoot a wolf and it runs away, it will bleed out. It will die. So I would just have to find it in order to harvest it. Same way with deer and bears. Moose, on the other hand, something totally different. A moose will not bleed out. So you have to actually bring a moose down and kill it, or if you walk away and you come back, it's still going to be alive. And moose are no joke. Moose will screw you up badly, break ribs, and hurt you. You have other things down here, a number of deers killed, rabbits killed, fish caught, and cans opened, which I don't really look at that stuff too much. But it's mostly I'm looking at the animals, so that I know when to go get them. If we go to the right again, this shows us our map. So you have a zoom or unzoom by hitting Y. And right now you'll see there's nothing on this map because the game does not give you anything on the map. You have to discover everything. And I'll show you how to map here in just a moment. But you can do, if you hit the X, then you can pick a different map to take a look at. Alright, so we're getting on to darkness, so I am going to have to, it's too dark to actually go out and map right now. If I hit my left bumper, then you will get a radio menu coming up here, and these are the things that I can pick. So if it is not white, if it's grayed out, means I have none of that item. So right now I have food, and all I have to do is go over to it and hit A, and it shows me the food I have, and I can pick it. Right now I am going, I don't have, there is a lantern over here in this shack.
This will come in handy.
So I hit the A button, and I can either take it, equip it, or leave it. So I'm going to equip it. And go ahead and turn it on. We're going to burn a little bit of fuel. So, oh, there's only a little bit of fuel. By hitting the right trigger. Hitting the right trigger will start the lamp, and there's not much fuel in it. So let's see if we have some fuel laying around here before I do anything else. If you go to a locker and it says it's got the lock symbol on it, means you have to have a crowbar to get into it. So search our survival kit first. Yep, definitely take those. Early game, I will take a 41% because I have no other food. Oh, no other food. But we do have a revolver. It's at 44%, which means I am going to have to clean it up. Let's see if we have any ammo for it.
I think I can use this.
Alright, so we've got a book here. There are two kinds of books in the game. Well, three kinds, really. You have the first kind is, you will see something on it like Wilderness Kitchen. That means it's a research book. I can research it and get my level up just by doing the research. And it's a quick way to level up. And I say quick way, but it does still take a long time. So it says that there are 5 hours of research available on it, so I'm going to go ahead and take it. The other kind of book, laying around here, is a book that has no cleaning kit.
Hope nobody
so
needs
firearms
this
cleaning
anymore.
kit, I'll need that for the pistol. And I'm going to take that cloth. Pinnacle peaches are good. I'm going to take those. That will keep me going. Take that one. Sewing kit, definitely want a sewing kit. Check the plastic container. And I'm going to take that and matches. I always take matches.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Accelerant will help me with fires. But there's not a lot of accelerant out there. So I got to be careful with it. 36%, I'm not taking that. Not taking that because it will give me food poisoning. And take that snare because I can catch rabbits with that.
This will come in handy.
Oh, work gloves. Like those. Those are good gloves. There we go. There's some ammo. So revolver ammo. Going to pick that up. And get my rifle cartridge there. So I am about to run out of fuel. MRE, 66%. MREs are great. They're not that heavy and they give you a lot of calories and they give you some fluid. I see some tomato soup.
Okay.
That's good. I'll take it. And more rifle cartridges. I just need to find a rifle. Hunting with a rifle is much better than hunting with a pistol. Alright, I already checked that just because it says searched. And I'm going to turn off my light because I've got a safe here. So the safes are always locked. In order to open a safe, you need to click on A, and then you have your tumblers. So if you move your left joystick to the right, it will go this way. So you want to get off 0 and then come back, and then slowly go around until you hear that click. So did you hear that click? It was about right here at 33. So I'm going to continue on around, and I'm going to go to 33. Really slowly. So that's the first tumbler. Now I need to go the other way until I hear that click again. And note where I hear it. So that was about round 5. So I'm going to go over here, past 0 again, and I'm going to come back over here to 33. Oh, not too far. So we just continue on around. And then down here near 5. So I'll go real slow. So it was 5. And then go the other way until I hear another click. 33, 5, and then somewhere around 15. So I'll go over here past 0 again. $33, 5, and then somewhere around 15. So I'll go real slow, one click at a time, until it does that. Once it has all 3 locked up, or opened up, then I'll hit A.
I'll take it.
And it will search it, and I have some insulated bullets. These are awesome. And a rifle cartridge, so that's good. Alright, so it's too early for me to sleep. If you look down on the left-hand side, you will see the temperature that is currently inside here. So I've got a full circle on that, so that's good. The next one over is how tired I am. and you will see little arrows going down as I'm moving. And you'll see one arrow, then two arrows. And then if I'm perfectly still, you'll barely see anything. Okay, that's how much energy I'm expending. When that gets down to 0, then I will become overburdened, really tired, really slow, and I have to sleep. If I don't sleep, I start losing condition, which condition is down in the bottom. That's that bar down there. That's how healthy I am. The next one over is my water. So you can see I'm about halfway on my water. And if I get thirsty and it turns red, then I start losing condition. Next one over is the calories I have. That's how much food I've got in me. You can play this one of two ways. Me, I like to keep myself filled up as much as possible early game, because if I can do that for 3 days without going hungry, then I get a carry bonus, a well-fed bonus, which allows me to carry more weight. I don't have to get that. If I wanted to, I could starve myself. The only time that I really need to eat is right before I go to sleep, to ensure I have enough calories to sleep and bring my health back up. As you sleep, your health will raise. So a lot of times I will, depending on the mode, if I'm in Interloper, then I will starve myself all day long. I will lose condition, but I'm not losing very much condition at all by starving myself. And then right before I go to sleep, I'll fill up on calories, just enough to get me through my sleep. Right now let's get in here. I got better clothing. So I'm going to hit my Y button, and I'm going to hit my left trigger to come over to my clothing. Now you see down there where the shoes are, it's got a little arrow in the upper right hand corner of that box. That means I have other clothing that fits in that description. And if I hit my right bumper, it moves me over to the other boots. So the shoes, you can see it's a 1.1 warmth bonus, 0.6 for my wind resistance, waterproofing is 10%, protection's 2%, running is -3, and these are at 63%, and they weigh 1.1 pounds. If I go over to these, you'll see that all of the green goes up, except for the running, which will slow me down because they are heavier, and you can see they're 3.3 pounds. And they are much better boots and will keep me warmer. Now look over on the left hand side and the bottom, you'll see the warmth bonus of 0.5, windproofing, +5 windproofing, +4 protection 7, and sprint 96. If I hit A to wear these, you'll see that my warmth bonus went up to 7, windproofing to 5, protection 9, but my sprint went down a little bit because they are heavier. So that's something that I will want to keep track of, because I want to be able to sprint as much as possible early game. Same way with the gloves. So if I look at these gloves, 0.5, 0.5, and 5. These are 1.7, 0.8, and 0. But they are warmer gloves. So if I put those on, I go to +9 and +5 on my windproofing. So I definitely want to hold on to those. And put those on. Right now I'm going to leave the cabin. And a lot of times you do not start out in a shelter. You're out here in the great outdoors. Your first priority is to find shelter, because you will start freezing. If you look over on the bottom left, you will see it's very cold out here. And I have 2 arrows going down, which means I'm going to get cold fairly fast, which is okay, because I'm not going to be out here very long. So as I'm walking, I'm using my joystick. My left joystick to move forward or backwards, right or left, and my right joystick is turning me. But here I picked up a snare. This is a rabbit location. So you see the little rabbit running down there. I can kill the rabbit a bunch of different ways. I can shoot it with a gun, shoot it with an arrow. I can take a rock and hit it, then I've got to run up to it, catch it, and break its neck. Or I can set up a snare, and we found a snare in there. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to hit my Y button. And I'm going to go down here to my tools menu. And you can see the snare over there. And I'm going to highlight the snare and I'm going to hit use. So it gives me this snare. I'm going to put it up here in some grass. And I'm going to hit my A button, or excuse me, my right trigger to place it. That snare should catch a rabbit. The more snares I make, the more rabbits I catch, the more food I have. And as I've said, I've played this map a lot. So I also know if I go down here, first I'm going to look for a moose. This is a moose spawning location. So sometimes you will find a moose out here. Early game, don't mess with a moose. It will hurt you. Also, watch out for bears in this area. So there's a bear cave that way, and the bear will come down in here. In the daytime, you'll see deer down in here. You can kill a deer. Sometimes they will give you a deer here, and they do not. Loot. No two playthroughs will probably be the same as far as your loot goes. Loot spawns with what is called a loot table. There are many loot tables. I can start this game 10 times and have different loot in the same locations. Just depends on what table is assigned to me. Alright, we're going to go back up in here because I don't want to loot a lot of stuff at night because it is colder at night. And I don't have a lot of protection. So let's see what, we're about a little less than halfway through the night. So there are some things I can do in the dark. Some things I cannot do. I can't repair clothing in the dark. I cannot do reading in the dark. I can't make things in the dark. Well, very many things. Some things I can do in the dark so that I'm not wasting my time is if I hit my Y menu and I go over here and I select my pistol, my revolver, I do have a cleaning kit. So I can clean my revolver at night. So I just hit the X button for action, and I hit clean. It should give me about 3% every time I clean it. You want to keep your weapons as clean and as in a good a condition as you can. So I'll probably use up a lot of this cleaning kit, just trying to get this up near 100%. The better the weapon is, the more accurate it will be. If you get down to a certain percentage on the weapon and you try to fire it, it will break and then you no longer have that weapon. Now you can also see as I'm doing this, in the bottom left hand corner, I am losing water and I'm losing calories. So I want to keep an eye on that. And I'm going to stop here. And I'm going to go over here and I am going to eat something that has liquid in it. So Pinnacle Peaches is good. What I will do is eat the worst one. And I'm smashing it open because I don't have a can opener, I don't have a knife. Which means I'm losing a lot of the actual food in it. But that's okay early game. Pinnacle Peaches, tomato soup, things like that will actually give you a little bit of water when you eat them. Alright, so let's go back over here and go down here to my tools. And I'm going to select actions again and I'm going to clean this up some more. And all I'm doing is passing some time at night and getting my weapon ready. Because right now I can only sleep for a couple of hours anyway, before I will become fully rested. So let's get get this cleaned up a little bit more. Because this weapon will be very important to me early game. And we're at 100%. So when it jumps out of the menu like that, it means you're at 100%. And we are. So in order to use this weapon, on my D-pad, I will hit the right D-pad, and it will pull out my weapon. And as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, it tells me I have 10 rounds. But then it shows the individual rounds, and there is nothing there. It's darkened out. If I hit my X button, it will load that weapon. It'll put so I've got 6 rounds in the weapon, and I have 4 spare rounds. And if I hit my B button, it puts it back away, and I'll show you that again in the daytime. Right now, though, we need to get a little bit of sleep. I don't think I have. Do I have any wood? Oh, wrong one. I'm moving too fast through it. No, I do not have what I need to start a fire, so I can't make any water yet. So let's go ahead and bring up my menu again, go up into food, and I'm going to eat these other pinnacle peaches. So again, you'll see my food going up and my hydration going up. So anytime you're pointed at a bed and it says bed, if you hit your A menu, then you will come up with this menu. Up at the very top, you have a left trigger and a right trigger. Left trigger, you'll see it's highlighted. It looks like an eye closed. That is your sleep. If you go to the right, that is just passing time. You're using calories, but you're not actually sleeping. So you can use that if you are not tired enough to sleep. But we're going to do a little bit of sleeping. I can use my D menu, and I can pick the total number of hours I want to sleep. And if you look down below and to the right, it says calories burned. And it will tell me 3 hours, I will burn 202 calories. Right now, I have 1,850 calories. So I could actually sleep for 10 hours. 11 hours, if you sleep for 11 hours and you're full on your water, when you wake up, you're going to be thirsty. 10 hours is usually the best for me because I don't lose any condition at all. And we're not going to be able to sleep 10 hours because I'm not that tired. So I'm going to put 5 hours of sleep, and when I'm fully rested, it'll wake me up, or it'll let me sleep for the full 5 hours. So it allowed me to sleep for the full 5 hours, and you can see it's daytime in here again. We're starting to get that way. All right, so let's go around and look through all the nooks and crannies, under shelves, looking for anything that I might have missed. I can break down chairs and table for wood, and you can see I'm very thirsty right now. And if I go over here to my radio button, which is my left bumper pad, I have nothing in the drink. So I'm going to lose condition until I find something to drink. I do have.
I'll die if I don't drink soon.
Oh, you'll be fine. All right. So I've got a little bit of wood, which will allow me to make a fire. But in order to make the fire, I'm going to need some sticks. So let's go out here and find some sticks. And check our snare. See if we might have a rabbit. So these are sticks. You need these to make tinder plugs. You need them to start fires. And you will need them if you want to make a snow shelter. So that will come up in another video, how to make a snow shelter. Then you have these. These are branches. You can break these branches down into sticks. Where to put this one? Where'd the snare go? Oh, there it is. Okay, walk right past it. So my snare's up here, and it did not catch a rabbit, and I can leave it here, but I'm not going to stay here very long, so I'm going to go ahead and take my snare with me and set it up somewhere else. Now, another thing you're going to need, old man's beard spices. You'll need to collect 3 of these to make a dressing. If you get attacked by a wolf or a bear, then you will need that in order to stop infections. And sometimes they're tricky to get hold of. So 3 of them will make 1 dressing. I collect these almost every time I run across them. Depends on how many I have. Alright, so we got a couple of sticks. And that should be all I need for right now to make 1 fire. Make me some water. And you can see I've got 3 bars going down, which means it is very cold. Alright, so I got my wood stove here. 2 things I can do with the wood stove. First, click on my A, and I'll take the charcoal. Because while this water's cooking up, I'm going to show you how to map. And next I can start a fire. So I start a fire, I'm going to need 3 things to start a fire. I'm going to need matches, preferably wood matches. I'm going to need tinder plugs, which I have one of those, or a newspaper roll, something for tinder. And I'm going to need fuel. So I've got a cedar wood, I've got a fir wood, and if you look over to the right, you'll see the chance of fire is 40%. Depending upon what you use to start your fire, your chances will go up. 40 is the base percent. So if I come over here to a wood match, now it's up to 45%. If I go to a tinder plug, it stays at 45, but if I come over to a stick, I go all the way up to 60%. If I'm out and I'm freezing and I really need to fire to start, then I can use my accelerant. I have 2 of those and it's a 100% chance. I know I'm going to find more accelerant, so I'm just going to go ahead and use that. And then I'm going to click on the stove again, and I'm going to add fuel. Add my cedar, and add my fir, and it gives me 2 hours and 35 minutes. So with 2 hours, 35 minutes, I can make some water. So I click on the pot, and I move over here to water. It's going to default to 0.13 gallons. So I use my left bumper to bump it up to half a gallon. And I hit cook. I'll do the same thing to the other. Water and cook. It takes 1 hour to melt the snow and 1 hour to boil it. You can take the snow, and we'll do this one. I click on it, and I can hit X to pass the time. So I'm burning calories, burning everything, but I'm not sitting here for an hour. So now it's 59 minutes to boil. So for this one, I'm actually going to pick this one up, and I'm going to take it. And if I look in my inventory, you're going to see that the water is green. Okay, what I can do here is I can go up to this, and I have the water purification tablets. So with these, I have 4 tablets. I can use it, and I'll just use one. And then if I look down here to my water, I now have 0.26 gallons of water that is good to drink. And then 0.26 that is not good. So I'm going to drink the good water. Don't drink the bad water, it'll make you sick. Now I'm no longer losing condition to being thirsty. Since I already have that out, let's go over here and do another one. Water purification tablets, something I don't use often, but I need to start using because it is an easier way to get water and doesn't take as much time. Because this is still another 44 minutes till it boils. So the other way I can do it is click on that and just pass the time. And now it is potable water, which means I can drink it. But if I leave it on the fire for another 44 minutes, it will boil dry and I'll lose my water. Alright, so my stove is at 27 minutes. Another thing I can do when I've got a fire going is to click on here and take a torch. So I've got a good torch here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my right trigger and I'm going to put it out and then hit my B button and put it away. And see if I can get me another torch. Ah, there's another good one. Alright, so we've got 3 minutes left on that. And I'm going to go ahead, since it's early game, and I'm going to take my cooking pots with me. I'm going to pick them up. Because we're going to another location. And we will be back when we have a crowbar so that we can get into that. And just one more quick look around, make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Did I search that drawer? Yep. And I think I have everything that I need. So let's go ahead and use my left bumper. And I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to go ahead and drink. So once I've got it highlighted, I hit A and I will drink to fill up my fluids. When you leave a place, there are two ways you can leave it. I can go here and I can just click on the A button and I'll go out, but I'll be standing up. Or I can come over to it and I can squat down. You squat down by pushing down on your left joystick. Or excuse me, your right joystick. That squats down. If you're squatted down, you're less likely to aggro a wolf or a bear, which makes you a little more invisible. And then I can hit the A and I can go out, and if there's a wolf or a bear outside, I have a chance to turn around and go back in without them seeing me. When you're squatted down, you're moving really slow, but again, you're less of a target. So we just hit it again, stand up, because I need to get out of here. It is cold. But before we do that, we're going to do some mapping, because I need to know where this location is. So I can squat down. We've got fairly decent weather, so I can do a map. To do a map, bring up your radio menu, your left bumper, and you go all the way down here. If I click on that, then it shows a map down here. It shows a rock cache that I can create, and spray paint, which shows spray paint, but I don't have any spray paint on me to mark anything. But I can come up here to the charcoal, and I'll hit the A button to use it. So it brings out the charcoal, and I can use my right trigger. And now it shows me a little bit of the map. So this is the trapper's cabin. The more you do this, the more map will open up for you. And the easier it is to get around. Alright, so it is going to get cold. What I'm going to do is go back in here and warm up a little bit. Alright, there's really nothing I could do in here now. I could sleep. But then that's going to throw my schedule off a little bit. So what the other thing I can do is my left bumper. I can go over here to where the fire is. I can click on it with the A while still holding the bumper. And then go up here where these deck of cards are. I can click on that and it brings me to this menu to pass time. And I can pass time for, let's say, 2 hours. And if you watch in the bottom left, you'll see that I'm warming up. And as soon as I get warmed up, I can hit cancel. And it will stop. So now that I'm warmed up, I can head out. And we're going to move to another location that could possibly have more stuff. All right, while I'm out and I'm moving around, I have other options that I can do. The first one is I don't want to walk around like this without some kind of weapon out. So if I hit left, or excuse me, right on my D-pad, it brings out my pistol again. Aim a pistol, you hit the left, and then you can move it around and you hit the left trigger, and then you hit the right trigger to fire. So I'm going to go ahead and fire one off. Just so you can see how it does it. And you'll see that I have used one round. Now what I can also do is if I want to fill that up, I can hit my X button and it will take that one spent cartridge out and put a fresh one in, and then go over and pick up your cartridges.
I think I can use this.
Casings. Picking them up when we get over to Bleak Inlet, we can actually refill these. There's only a finite number of bullets that you will find. In this mode, you will find a lot of bullets. Alright, so I have options here. I can stay on this map, or I can head this way into a cave, and we'll head over to another map. But I want to stay on this map for a while. Now something else you will notice, and I will go up, you'll notice that a little red thing showed up in the bottom right hand corner. That means that I'm on a hill, and that also means that I am prone to spraining my ankle. The longer that stays up, the more of a chance I will have for a sprain. And sprains are, they're a pain in the butt. Oh, I heard something, and turns out it's a truck outside. I thought something was sneaking up. So where I'm going now, got another location to check out. It's some train cars where I can find a little bit of loot. And then there's some train tracks up here. We're going to follow those train tracks to another area where I can get some loot. And hopefully some better clothing. And if I stick around here, there are only 2 wolves that I'll have to worry about. One of them not so much. It's down in here, and as long as I stay over here, he shouldn't see me. But another one will be near the train tracks. I have to be careful with that. Now this is birch bark. Collect birch bark when you find it. 2 birch barks, you can make a tea out of it. And if you drink that tea while you're moving or sleeping or whatever you're doing, it's healing you. It won't give you much healing, but it could give you enough to keep you from dying. Okay, we got a piece of coal here. Pick that up. This coal burns really good. And pass it. There should be another birch bark around here. And I was probably talking past all. There we go, another birch bark. So these are pretty regular in these spots. That will give me 1 birch bark tea, which will help me heal up if I really need it. So in this area, over that way, past those rocks, is a wolf that runs around. So I'll just stay over here and avoid him. Yeah, I know, you're cold. You're gonna be alright. Right up here is the train tracks, and there are a couple of containers that I can check. And some key things I'm looking for now is a knife, a hatchet, and a crowbar. Yeah, got a couple of containers today. Search them with the A button. That one's empty. Not every container you check will have... Oh, a bandage. I need that. Not every container will have something. Then we have rosehip tea, or rose hips. Collect your rose hips. You will need 3 bushes to make a rosehip tea. Rosehip tea, you can use that in place of painkillers. They also give you calories when you drink it. So if you're running low on food, Drink one of these and it gives you, I think it's 150 calories. Which could mean the difference between starving to death and living. Alright, squat down here because we're getting near a wolf location. Ah, and I see a knife. So check your frozen corpses. Sometimes they have something on them.
Could use this.
And now we have a hunting knife. Now we can fight back. And more matches. And I'm taking that. That's all. If my cooking level was at 5, I could eat that, and it will not make me sick. Feathers. Gather your feathers. Anytime you find some kind of carcass, there should be anywhere from 1 to 4 feathers around it, depending upon the number of carcasses in the area. And feathers, you will need those to make arrows. Because eventually you're going to run out of bullets. The longer you play, at some point there will be no bullets whatsoever to get. So you will need to use a bow and arrow. We're still very early in the game. So the wolves have, normally in this mode, you get the first about 24 hours with no predator. But that's not a guarantee. Head has to be on a swivel. And I've been in the red down over on the right for a while, so I'm going to stop and rest for a second. Oh, you're going to get food. She complains a lot, but I'd rather listen to her complain than Will complain. He sounds like a baby. Let's go pick us. Where I'm heading, I can make fire. And I want to make a couple of tinder plugs. So I'm following the railroad tracks. I can follow the railroad tracks all the way down, and I will come to the Carter Hydro Dam, and pass a couple other places that I can get some loot. But right now, I am not really equipped for such a travel. Here is where I should be able to get some equipment. And I tend to use this as my base of operations when I'm on this map. It's a centrally located area. And we have a lot of deer and stuff like that in this area. Alright. The B button to put my pistol away so I don't accidentally shoot myself.
Huh. What have we here?
You can't shoot yourself in the game, but you can waste your ammunition. Okay, come over here. Search you. So antiseptic, I'll need that for any wolf bites. And I can also use the old man's beard dressing, which is lighter, and it will do the same thing. I have wood there that I can break down. When searching shelves and benches, search them really well, because that hook is almost invisible. And there's some fishing line there too. Excellent. I can do fishing. And a whetstone, I will need that for my knife and my hatchet to keep them in good repair. And go over here, check over here. I can break these wheels down for wood. Sometimes you will find something in here. I got some food here. Tomato soup. And I'm going to find other food. Spray paint, I'll take that. I don't normally carry spray paint, but I'll take it to show you how to use it. cooking pot. And I did bring both cooking pots with me. So cooking
Nobody
pot
needs this anymore.
just helps you make water in greater amounts. Chips. Those. Coffee. Need coffee. And scrap metal, I'm going to take it. I'm not going to use it now. Take it over here and put it in this drawer. So I go down here to my crafting and I can drop that in there. That way I know where the metal is. In case I need to repair something. And I'll show you how to do that in a bit. Right now we just need to get ourselves equipped up. Check on the counter there. I have paper there that I can pick up. Oh, I got a book.
This will come in
Shooting
handy.
guide, yes. It will definitely come in handy. Bring my shooting up. Got a can there in case I need it, which I don't need it. Every time you eat something out of a can, it gives you the can so you can make water in. Nothing on the corpse. Click that book. Now that book was different. That book is only for burning.
I'll take it.
Sports vest. So if I go over here to my clothing again, you'll now see that I have something to put there. And I put that on. It really doesn't help with my warmth, but it does help a little bit with my windproof. Search all the drawers.
I think I can use this.
New wool socks. Definitely want those. And if I come over here and put those socks on, socks I have an inner layer and I have an outer layer. I'll put these over here on the outer layer. And you'll see that my warmth bonus went up. So anything on the right is your outer layer. As far as, get back over here, as far as your pants and your thermal underwear and your socks. If I come over here, the outer layer is on the left. So I have nothing for my outer layer. And I am not done searching this. Ah, I got another cooking pot. So put that there, and I'm going to take that can, stick it over there. Come on. Well, let's go over here to tools, and I'm going to drop that cooking pot. Pick it up, and I'm going to set it over here so that I can make water in greater quantities. Search that.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
And more accelerant and water. And we've got a note here, so I collect one more note. Now you can read the note. All you got to do is hit X, and it tells you different things that happened. But I take them just for the collection. And if I look right there, I've got a magnifying glass. I just saw it sticking out there. With a magnifying glass, if it's sunny out, I can make fire. And I do not burn through matches. Got another bedroll.
This stuff will come in handy.
I'm going to take it and come over here. And this is where I'm going to put my clothing in my base of operations. So I'm going to put the worst one and transfer it over. And come over here, and I'm going to drop these other pots because they are 2.2 pounds each. So why to drop them? That way I know where they're at. Alright, so it appears that is all this area is going to give me. Which is okay, because that's a fairly decent start. There are some other cabins that I can check. And check the time of day. We got a little bit of time. I'm going to go ahead and drink the sodas because the sodas not only give me liquid, but they give me calories. Because there's one more thing I want to do before I start repairing up my clothing and getting ready to move out to some other areas. In this mode and in Pilgrim mode, you have hidden prepper caches on this map and on Pleasant Valley. There are 5 different locations where you can have, 6 locations, where you can have a prepper's cache. So there's one right near here, and I want to check it out. see the crows are moving out, which means that the weather is getting ready to turn on us. Get some high ground. Sometimes a wolf spawns over here. And I don't see him. I think we're good. Go down and check those train cars in a minute, but I want to see if there's happens to be the prepper's cache up here. This prepper's cache, if it is here, is a hunting prepper's cache, which means it will have ammunition, it will have rifles, it'll have pistols, it'll have cleaning kits, it'll have all kinds of stuff, plus some clothing in it. Each cache has different stuff in it. There's a firewood cache, clothing cache, tools cache, food cache, medical cache, and we will hit all of the locations where they can be. See if any of the locations have them. So I want to go up here at the top of the hill and then go around this rock to the left. I will probably sprain an ankle. But we'll try to move as easy as we can. I am not that heavy. And it is not here. It would normally be here if it was here. I've only found it a couple of times, or it might be around this way. Right up near those trees. Nope, it is not here. Alright, so we didn't get lucky and get the hunting cache, which is okay. Now, one thing you can do when you're on an angle like this is you can squat down, and that might help a little bit. Keep you from getting a sprained ankle or wrist. And I'm just trying to move around to the other side so I can head back, because there is a wolf that spawns down there. And he has a really good nose. There we go. Yeah, I know you get tired. You'll be alright. Because I do want to go down and check. There are a couple of locations where I could possibly find a rifle. One is right down the road there where those train cars are. And there is a watchtower. I don't think you can see it from here. Oh, there you can. Up there. That you can possibly find a rifle at. And I feel better when I do find a rifle. Gives me more options for hunting. And you can see your footprints stay in the snow, so you can actually track game for a while, shoot it. And if you get lost, you can look for your footprints. They don't stay very long, but they do stay for a little bit. Over here to the left, if I go through that little area, there are rabbits. And there are also deer in that area. Plus there's old man's beard dressing over there, which I will go over and collect later.
I'm so hungry in my life.
Oh, you'll be there. Right now I want to go down these train cars and see if possibly I can collect a rifle. And sometimes you'll have some better clothing. And most of the time you'll find a crowbar. I see crows over there, which means there's something dead in that area. So it could be a deer, it could be something that I've shot, a bear, a wolf, or it could be a dead body. I know from experience there's a dead body over here, and there's also a deer. So I can collect a little bit of meat. Now, if you look to the left, or you can see it pop up there, it says hypothermia warning, which means I am cold. There's my crowbar. When you get into hypothermia warning, you will start losing condition at, I think it is 3% per hour. The condition will drop. Oh, no rifle.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
But got some dog food. Dog food is edible. Alright, you're not giving me a lot today. Must have one of the bad loot tables. It's okay, we can get around that. Flares. Definitely get the flares. If I get into a situation where I don't have ammo, I can, there's more ammo. I can use the flares to keep the wolves away. Now I do have a knife, which means that I can harvest this deer, and I'm going to do that. So it's got 3.8 pounds of meat, so I'm going to collect that meat, and the hide, and the guts. I need the hide and the guts to make clothing. And it's going to take me 1 hour and 24 minutes to do it. You can see my condition going down really fast. And I'm going to have to start all over on my... get my well-fed bonus. So you can see where she's cold. She's real shaky. And you can hear the wolves in the background. Now, when I have meat on me that is not cooked, and I have guts and I have hides, I have what's called a stink bar. And that stink bar will attract wolves. So normally I can walk around a wolf, but if I have food on me, then I can't walk around them very well because they're attracted by that. And they're harder to scare off because they smell the meat. So we've got some stamina built up. So I'm going to hit my right bumper, and I'm going to do a little bit of running. Again, I know there could be a possible wolf in this area. I can continue to run until my stamina bar runs out, and then I've got to walk until it builds back up. Get back in here, get warmed up. And the first thing you should do is drop your hide and your guts. So I'm going to drop that because it will not cure if it's in your inventory. And I'm going to come over here and drop the guts. And you'll see that they start to cure once they are indoors. They will also cure in a cave. So if you're facing yourself out of a cave, you can do that. And we got to start all over again on our well-fed bonus. We have antibiotics. Yes, I do. Got plenty of them. So we're going to go ahead and eat the worst food first, because I know I'm going to sleep for about 10 hours. And if it gives me food poisoning, I'll be okay. So we eat that 40%er. She's not crying out in pain, so I didn't get food poisoning. Shoot, I gotta drop that meat out there. Before I do that, I did pick up lantern fuel. So I'm gonna go over here to my lantern. And I'm going to click X for actions and refuel my lantern. Doesn't give me a lot, but it gives me a little bit. And I know my way around this cabin, so I really don't need the lantern, but it's kind of hard to see on the YouTube channel. So I'm going to drop this meat out here. So up here to my food, and I'm going to drop the meat. It's 20%, it's not that good. But if I cook it, it will get better. And we're going to go up here and get some more food in us. Lighten our load a little bit. And then get prepared to sleep and to get out of here fairly early. Go ahead and eat that.
I need to find a place to
And no
rest.
food. Okay, no food poisoning. Let's go with the heavier stuff first. I need to remain as light as I can. And we get some more food up here. Go ahead and eat that. So it's now that I have a knife on me, I can open cans better. And I'm getting more food out of it. I want to save the MRE until I really need it. And normally I wouldn't eat all this food. But right now I need to keep myself light. And we'll drink up. And I'm going to sleep. Yeah, I can get 10 hours. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm thinking I'm outside. So we'll go ahead and do 10 hours. And I am almost fully rested. It is almost daytime. So if you look over at the sun on the right hand side, there are 2 more rays of sun. When those appear, then it will start getting lighter inside here, and I can start doing mending and stuff like that. So you can see it rising slowly. Let's get us some water, because this is going to be a full day. I've got a lot of places to check. And let's see if I can do some repairs. Do I have any cloth on me? Yep, I got 1 piece of cloth. So if I click up here, and let's see what needs the most repair. Everything seems to be in the 80s. Oh, definitely these. So I'm going to repair the jeans first because they're the outer layer. And I just hit actions and repair. Nope, still too dark. So let's go over here and pass time until I start seeing things around me. And see if it'll let me repair now. Alright, so 58%, which is a little bit better than what it was. And I'll have to get some more cloth and repair those. But I'm going to save that in case we get hung up in some place. Alright, so on this map, the next thing I want to check is the fishing shack down here. Run out. Cattails. Collect your cattails. Cattails are a finite resource, and you can eat the cattails. They're worth 150 calories each. And the cattail heads can be used as tinder to start a fire. So there have been times in this game where for days all I've eaten is cattails. One of my other playthroughs that I messed around with, I wasn't paying that much attention to the amount of cattails I collected, and I had like 18 pounds of cattails, which is several days worth of food. I know you're cold. You'll be complaining about being hungry here in a little bit. It'll be alright. And no more diamonds. This area is another prime location for wolves. Normally there's 3 running around here. Sometimes if you're playing Stalker, you can see 5 of them running around this area. Also, if you go further that way, there's a bear. Fishing shack. So fishing shack is where you can do your fishing. Yeah, there's it.
This'll come in handy.
I don't need a can, don't need scrap metal. I will take those because I'm breaking down for the leather to repair my boots or my other gloves. Don't need a stone. Stones I can find anywhere.
Starting to feel numb.
I do want the scarf though, because a scarf I can put here and wear it. Even though it's not much protection because it needs to be repaired up, it is a little bit. And you can see since I'm in here, I'm not getting as cold. I can start a fire if I want, and right there I can break that ice and I can do some fishing. But right now I don't want to do that. I am looking for clothing. Got something dead over here.
It's so cold. I just want to lay down for a
I
bit.
know. I start losing condition, but that's okay. That's my feathers. And 2 more there. Normally you will get 3 feathers. Like I said, sometimes it will be 2 feathers, sometimes it will be 5 feathers. And if I had better clothing, once I shut that door, it would start warming up. But my clothing is crap right now. Take the newspaper. Take all the cloth I can. 4 repairs. In the corners. And I'll leave that door open so I know to check it. Here and look for wolves. I also have a lot of deer over here. Normally 3 to 4 deer are spawned in this area. So we got 4 today. I have killed deer with a revolver. But I've never brought a deer straight down with a revolver. I've always had to track it. Since we're already cold and we're losing condition at 3% an hour, and I am fairly good as far as rest, there's a rope here I want to check out. And I can actually put the pistol away. Not running into anything up here. This rope leads to a cave, and it also leads to another possibility for a prepper stash. So to climb the rope, just hit A, and just start climbing. You have to watch very carefully on the right-hand side, because if you lose all your stamina, or the left-hand side, if you lose all of your energy, you get too tired, you can fall off this rope. That will work. Alright, so I believe if this prepper's cache is here, it is a medical one. And I'm not sure if it spawns here or around the rock. So we'll check around the rock. I think it's back there. Yep, we don't have that. Alright, so that's 2 down. I have 4 more possibilities. What I also have down here is a cave. And a sapling around here somewhere. Pick up that sapling. It is pretty safe up here. There are no predators. I have limbs that I can make fires with, but I do not have a hatchet. I need a hatchet to break those down. Dead guy in here. And it'll give me a little bit of wood.
This'll come in handy.
Go energy drink. What? So got my wood there. I'm not going to need wood. I will leave that here. Got a deer and a rabbit. And there was old man's vehicles. Definitely want to collect y'all early. Sapling is up there. I need to collect. Saplings. You can find saplings laying around in certain areas. Normally they're always in the same places. And you will need, so there's one. So, oh, I don't have a hatchet. I can't collect it. You have birch and you have maple. You will need one to make arrow shafts, and the other to make a bow. And you have to collect them, put them indoors so that they... Alright, let's get out of here and head for some more cabins. Still have to find some good clothing. And I can't run because I'm energy. Still not going to need to climb down the rope. And get off the hill. I have played this game a lot with sprains on. And as I said, sprains are a pain in the butt. You can go in a custom mode and turn sprains off. And that's what I normally do. But I think everybody, their first playthrough, should run with sprains on so that you know what a pain in the butt they are. The edge, make sure there's nobody down there. Climbing down a rope does not take near as much energy as climbing up. Now we will need to be armed. I can hear the wolves. listening for any footfalls, any growls. There is a cave up here, and I can't remember if I found anything in that cave or not. Let's go here and check it. Take a look. Got some stones I can use for rabbits. You can also use stones to throw them and divert a wolf's attention if he is not aggroed on you. Okay, and right now my clothing is not near good enough to be able to survive in the cave. But we have some huts down here. And a possibility of behind one of those, we might find a rifle. And you can see wolves out in the background out there. So right out there are 3 wolves. As long as I stay over here, I should not aggro them. May even find a wolf if I go around this rock. Big rock there in those trees. Might even find a wolf down that way. Rifles here. It depends on your loot table. Sometimes you'll have all 3 cabins here. I heard something. Might have been a deer out on the ice. Alright, so first glance, I don't see much in here. But I'll collect everything I can. Put the rifle away. Books. I talked about books earlier. If you find a book and it's like a generic type book, you can't read that, but you can use it to start fires.
This'll come in
I'll
handy.
take one of those in case I need it. And when I sleep. Sport socks I'll take because I can carry those down. And the trunk. Give me some good. Newspapers, not good.
I'll take it.
But the jeans, yes. So we'll go up here and we will put those jeans on. They're not very good, but they are another layer. I don't need that book. Checking these crates. I can break those crates down if I need firewood, but I don't need it now. I'm not going to spend a night in this one. So we're going to duck down so I don't aggro a wolf if one happens to be out there. Check out on here.
I've never felt so cold.
On one of these
in my
docks,
life.
you can actually sometimes find a knife sticking up on one of these posts. I've got a knife, but it doesn't hurt to have it. So I could go around to the right and avoid the wolves, but I don't want to avoid them right now. If you find yourself in a situation you're surrounded by wolves and you can't get around them, and like me, you're losing condition, you're really cold, and you just need to get where you're going, and you have the ammo, you shoot. I want to try to take the wolf out, because if I shoot, it will run them, they'll run away. I want to try to take one down. Yep, got 3 of them. As long as I'm squatted, I can get closer. If I stood up right now, they'd be on me. As start coming after me. Oh, wait a minute. She's not going to be able to do it. She's too cold. But I can get this close to them as long as I'm squatted down and be able to get around them. Right now, if I tried to shoot, she's too cold. Everything's shaking. Stone. And I'm far enough away to come after me. This guy out. He's got nothing.
I'll take it.
But an MRE? Yes, I actually take that. And I'll take that one. It's 99%. I don't think I've ever seen one of those 99%. Only one feather? Haha, hatchet. I needed you. The rifles. So we'll check these 3 cabins out. And then when I check the last one out, I will sleep there. Sardines.
I think I can use this.
I will not eat sardines that are less than 80%. Of all the stuff in the game that can give me food poisoning, sardines are number 1. Even good sardines, I've gotten food poisoning from.
I think I can use this.
Aha! Yes, I can. And I'm not gonna about that. Anything in there? Lantern fuel. Cloth. And nothing else in here that I need. And warming up a little bit, but I have 2 more to search.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Yeah. We will drop some here in a bit. And you're just getting tired. Got a note here. And I've read all the notes. Some of them are love notes. Some of them tell you specific things in the game.
I'm so cold. I'm warming up a bit.
Indoors, you're going to warm up. Got spray paint under there. Yeah, normally I don't take the spray paint, but I'll show you how to use it. In just a bit.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Painkillers, definitely. 76. Condensed milk, 29. I don't want to take a chance on that. But I will take the fire log. Dust in that crate. Get down, look around. Things can be hidden under beds. And we have one more to check. Then we'll rest up, warm up a little bit, and move on to the next one.
Oh, so cold.
Got trail boots. And we'll see which boots are better. A lot of books to start fires. I really don't need them.
Oh, I've never been so hungry in my life.
Jerky. Take that. Trust me, you've been a lot hungrier in this game. Got some grape soda. We'll take that grape. Gone away before I end up shooting around that I don't need to shoot. Okay, firewood. Not worry about the firewood. And can't do anything with that cup. Don't see anything on the walls. So let's eat a little bit. I got plenty of food. And you can also eat from this menu. So it's easier to see things from this menu. We'll try the banged up pork and beans. And drink a little bit of that. And this MRE I'm going to drop 27%. I don't take a chance on. And I've got plenty of food, so I don't need that. And let's go ahead and get rid of these. Drink me some water. And we're halfway through our day, but we're very cold. So I'm going to sleep for an hour to warm up. And to get a little bit of stamina up. Got to take care of your stamina. And let's do another hour. That'll give me enough time to make it to the next cabin. Before I start freezing. Get down low. The longer you rest, the more condition you get back. So I only slept for 2 hours in 1 hour bursts, so I'm not going to get a lot of condition back. About over there. And you will not get shot. Alright, this cabin only has some decent stuff in it, and so does that fishing shack. Problem with these two is there's a bear running around here. Don't see him right now. He has a cave about over in there. And he's not a friendly bear. But he will leave you alone as long as you don't go poking or get too close. And no rifle over here. Check the walls, no rifle racks. Empty.
Never know. Could be something useful.
Dog food. Nothing there. I don't need any books. I have a book. And let's see if it gives me something good. No. I have one of the tough loot tables. Yeah, I'll eat that if I have to. Wow, this cabin was not very good. No bear? Works for me. I will eventually, when I have a rifle, come over and hunt the bear. I'm listening for him. Make sure he doesn't appear behind me someplace. Okay, make this quick because he can appear while I am entering. Paper.
Okay.
Take the soda. Definitely take the hook. I will be doing some fishing. 2 ways to get lamp oil in this game. Also just around the stove here. One is to find it. And the other is by fishing. If you cook fish in a pot, you will get lamp oil out of it. Alright, we got the wolves down here. I could scare them away and check that. But I think I want to go up here first, because there's a possibility of a prepper's cache up there. And since I haven't found one in the other 2 locations I looked at, let's check this one out. And I'm probably going to sprain an ankle or something. I knew I was. Alright, so when you have a sprain, you can go over here, look at your health, and a sprained wrist, it tells me I need 1 bandage, and I'm going to need 2 painkillers. So come over here. I use 1 bandage, and make sure you use it on the right one. If you use the bandage here, it's not going to help you out in it. So for sprained wrist, use bandage. I don't have to use the painkillers. It would just blur my vision a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and use them since I have them. But I could have also used the rosehip tea. So since it wouldn't let me up over here, I've got to go over here and go up. That way, that's the cabin. Where we're going to make our base for a little while until we move to the next room. As I said, normally now that I've done the game for a while, I would just go and do a custom game in Stalker or something and turn off sprain wrist, because it is a pain in the butt. So this particular prepper's cache, if it's here, I have never found it. But I do know about where it would be if it was in the game. Come over here and check it out. And rest for a second. Try not to sprain something else. It's one of the reasons why you need a lot of bandages. Sprains are real. So unless I'm mistaken, it should be straight up ahead. And there are some YouTube videos you can go on and check out that actually show where these caches are. There's one really good one, I forget who did it, but they start from the hydro dam over there and they go around to all the cache locations, show you where they're at. And I'm overburdened. I'm gonna sprain my wrist or ankle again. When you turn off sprains, you can walk up this with no problem. I'm not mistaken, it should be either on the right or on the left, if it is here. Let's see it over there. And don't see it over this way. So we don't have this purpose cache. Still other places we can look. And I'm actually heard a wolf had just killed a deer. I am actually not too far from the hydro dam. And I'm not getting cold very fast. The hydro dam is a place where I can find some pretty good loot. I think we'll head that way. So wolf location down in here. I think that's where I heard a bark, and then I heard a deer in its death throes. Alright, Spider-Man action. So, one of the things you can do in the game that I like doing is you can come down almost a sheer rock cliff. All you have to do is squat down and just go slowly. And that one was a little too sheer, but you can do that and you won't get hurt. I've climbed down a whole mountain by doing that instead of walking around it. You can't go up, but you can go down. Kind of one of those little cheaty things that you learn while you're playing the game. So our next stop is we have a hunting blind up here. And we have some trailers a little further down. There he is. There's the wolf and the deer. So while he's occupied, try to slip up on him. He's been eating on the deer a little bit. He still should eat for a little while longer. Highlight him. Sky. See if I can't take him out. If I can take him out, then I can move in this area for a while before he will respawn. Uh-oh, we got a glitch. I heard him yelp. He is not running away. Sometimes they'll glitch out on you a little bit.
I'm getting tired.
And that one is glitched. So, to ensure that it does not come after me, I'm going to have to go around it. Oh, I hit him. There's blood. Every now and then you'll run into a glitch like this. So he will die. There he goes, now he's running. He finally felt the pain. And again, the flare will keep him away. It will work on regular wolves. It will not work on timber wolves. Timber wolves you need to have a blue marine flare to keep them away. This red flare won't do anything against those. We're doing a bar and another hunting knife and we'll figure out all this stuff later. Right now, since I've got this flare,
This stuff will come in handy.
I want to get to the hydro. There is another wolf that can be up here near the hydro dam. A little bit further. Use the last of my energy. And that's it. Now on the other side of this hill is another location for a prepper's cache. Possibly find it. But we are way too tired to look for it.
I'm gonna lay down and have a little sleep right here.
Nope, I'm out of energy. And I'm not that far from the trailers. And we'll be good as long as there's not a moose out there. A moose will be bad. A moose will not run from the flare. And if you shoot at a moose, it will chase you. Matter of fact, if you don't shoot at it, it will chase you. And it will. And I don't see any markings. If there was a moose in this area, then some of the trees would have their bark removed down at the bottom, where the moose has scraped its antlers. Way too tired. Cattails down there if you need them. Also, you can have a wolf in this area. He tends to stay on the other side of the bridge, but will sometimes walk across the bridge or come under the bridge and walk up here to these cabins or these trailers. And we're about to lose our flare. And I can't run. Let myself get too tired. I don't want to waste another flare. So we'll throw that away and get the pistol out. Just in case. Much daylight. Not much daylight.
I'll take it.
Something soda. Yep, we'll take it. And more accelerant. Gloves. Here's another book. Practical Gunsmithing, which will help me when I start making ammunition. Make ammunition that is better. There. I can break down these cardboard if I want to, but I don't want to. Nope.
I'm gonna need to eat soon.
Don't need any of that. Take soda. there. Nothing in the crate, so we're going to move over to the other one, which has a bed. I can sleep in here, because I do have a bedroll. But every time you use your bedroll, you put a little more wear and tear on it. So let's get our pistol out. And don't hear Mr. Fluffy. And can't run. There's the Carter Hydro Dam. We will go in there in the next episode of this and see what it has to offer. And there's some other things that we can do in there that I will show you. First off, we'll check this place.
This'll come in handy.
I don't need no smoke in it. But I will take the sodas. No, I won't. Orange one's good. And down here we have stump remover. So you'll need stump remover to make ammunition.
This pack
We
is
are
getting too
nowhere
heavy
near
to carry.
that. And I'll take those. Take that. That away. I have no clothing up here. Sometimes you can find clothing up on the top bunk.
I'll take it.
Take that for the leather. Take that in case I need it. And what I'm going to do is put a lot of this stuff at the hydro dam. Light shell. That will come in handy. So I'm at 13 degrees warmth bonus. I put that on, and I'm at 14 degrees. Clothing.
I think I can use this.
And rifle. Got some basic tools there. I will need those to do some things. And nothing else in here. Oh, socks. Missed socks. So let's check our socks and see which ones are. So these are 88. Those are 57. Those are 98, so we'll stick with those. And let's take a look at our food. Alright, so 2 good MREs. And I don't need to eat them right now. So we'll hang on to those. And I'm at 95 pounds. I do have a little bit of weight on me that I'm going to have to get off at the hydro dam. This is just way too heavy. And we'll eat the peanut butter. That'll fill me up. And to reduce weight, we'll drink some sodas. Save my water. Which I'm kind of wasting the calories on the sodas. That's alright. It's early game. Alright, so now we're going to sleep. I'm just going to go ahead and do a 10-hour sleep. Because I can make it over to the hydro dam before daylight, and that'll be fine. Alright, so we got a little bit of daylight left, or excuse me, nighttime left. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here, and we will get back to it maybe a little bit later on today. So thank you very much. Appreciate you watching. Hope this helped for anybody that is starting to play the game. And I will see y'all next time. So until then, have a good one.